Okay, we've got one more presentation to go before our copper session, and it's from Kincora Copper, project up in Mongolia. And to tell you about it, Sam Spring, their president and CEO. So Sam, please.
Thank you everyone for taking the time. Here we go. So Kincora Copper is listed on the Canadian Venture Exchange. We're focused on the southern Gobi of Mongolia, where obviously Oyu Tolgoi has made it famous, with Rio Tinto currently undertaking the largest expansion project in the industry. Kincora has been operating in country since 2011, and there's been a few significant milestones that I'll walk you through to get to the point that we're at today. Really, the summary of the story is location, team and targets. We're taking the first modern Tier 1 systematic exploration in this world-class belt. We've got a team who have found world-class deposits in the past and joined the company off the back of a recent deal that we've done. And we've got an exploration set of targets that looks to bring various projects up the portfolio and add value. The most advanced being a large-scale exploration target, one of the largest institute systems defined in Mongolia with only very modest drilling at West Kazulu Bronze Fox project. Then we've also got drilling last year that confirmed a brownfield setting at our East 7 Safaga target, and then we've got the dominant position in this belt. So where are we located? We're within trucking distance of China, the world's largest consumer of copper. Oyu Tolgoi we've touched on before. There's another large-scale development project owned privately called 7 Safaga. This is, I suppose, a world-class belt which hasn't had much exploration. You can see our ground there highlighted in orange or I guess yellow, depending on the resolution there, and we've got the dominant position. We've seen Oyu Tolgoi going forward, and we've seen Rio expanding its footholding in this belt and resuming district exploration. To put this belt into perspective, that blue box around the southern Gobi is the same landmass as that blue box in northern Chile. If you were to look in northern Chile back in the 1970s, there were just a handful of old mines. Now, after many years of systematic exploration, you've got 15 producing copper mines supplying over 10% of the world's copper. Why do I mention that? Because copper porphyries happen in established belts in the right structural settings. In our belt here, you've got 2 mines or 2 large-scale development projects, and you've had basically, by international standards, very limited exploration. You've got the right structural setting of an arc parallel and arc transverses, and there will likely be many other discoveries if there's the right legislation and right exploration that takes place across this belt. So who are the team? I guess the key element is the technical team, because they drive the value of the assets. Within that team, there's the technical committee. John Holliday joined us last year after we did a deal to consolidate the dominant position in that belt. John is credited with the discovery of Cadia for Newcrest, which is a very similar copper porphyry to what we're looking for here, where you need smart geophysics and geology to find a series of deposits undercover. Peter Lehman, he was ex-BHP, credited with the discovery of Reko Diko in Pakistan, was a world-class asset. Peter was running the BHP exploration program across this belt between 2006 and 2009. And as he says, there's a bit of unfinished business there because the exploration techniques that we're applying now are much more superior to what were being undertaken back in those days. So what's the strategy? The strategy is looking to systematically advance this dominant portfolio and the best parts of the copper belt up the value curve. It's a portfolio approach where we're allocating money to only the best projects and taking each one to the best next step in terms of adding value. If we test a target and the target disappoints, it gets deranked, and we're not looking just to land bank, so we'll get rid of it. I guess the real sweet spot for raising money and adding value for shareholders is getting that up to the value curve towards a feasibility or a pre-feasibility. And at the moment, our most advanced project is Bronze Fox, and we'll walk through what we're looking to do there. So here, Bronze Fox, it was our flagship asset back in 2012 that supported a market cap of $40 to $50 million. We acquired the western licence that you can see there called Tourmaline Hills in 2012. We drilled 1,000 metres of over 0.4% copper equivalent copper with over 37 metres of over 1%. And off the back of that, we had 14 NDAs with most copper groups that you could think of. We had a period of exclusivity and we had an offer for the company at sort of a materially higher market cap that we are today. But within 6 months, there was a change of government and there were various disputes that emerged with various foreign companies, and that led to that Tourmaline Hills licence being revoked. We led the industry lobby effort in 2015. We got that back, but that was at the point where Anglo and Teck were leaving Mongolia as there were concerns about their solvency. So we got that back at the bottom end of the cycle. So Bronze Fox, we've announced a very large exploration target, over 400 million tonnes of lower grade copper, which is one of the biggest systems in Mongolia. And what we're now looking to do is advance our understanding of that block model and get that to the standard required for a 43101 resource, look to secure a mining licence and convert our exploration licence to that, revisit some oxide studies where we were looking at a small-scale development project at similar copper prices today, which generated a good return on capital, and more importantly, focus on the western zone of that Bronze Fox intrusive, where previously we only drilled 4 holes in 2012, but 3 of those were in high-grade intersections, and this block model clearly illustrates as a younger system and a different system with high-grade potential. At East 7 Savaga, as mentioned, we did phase 1 drilling there last year. It confirmed that we're in a brownfield environment. We're only 10 kilometres away from a $1 billion construction project. Phase 1 drilling, half the holes intersected what we were looking for, the Devonian age intrusion. Subsequent geophysics indicated we were close, and now we're doing some further IP before going in and doing 5,000 metres of drilling this field season, benefiting from the money that we raised last year. So the register, relatively consolidated. We've got a market cap at current day prices of 10 million, with about 3 million in the bank at the end of the year. We raised money in third quarter last year at 33 cents. That was led by Resource Capital Funds, RCF out of Denver being a cornerstone. Then we had a second tranche raising coming in from Europe, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, who's one of the biggest investors in Mongolia. I guess a number of people over this conference have asked, well, Sam, phase 1 results have looked okay. How come the share price is trading at 14.15? Late last year, it emerged that Origo Partners, who's our largest shareholder with a 23% interest, reconstituted its board and is on public record, given they're a London-listed group, that they're looking to divest of all their portfolio positions by November 2018. So as a 23% shareholder, that's obviously weighed on our share price and caused a little bit of an overhang. So I guess to wrap up, we've got an exceptional team with a track record of finding and advancing and creating value for Tier 1 copper porphyries, which we're looking to find in our portfolio. We've got a strategic land position and the best parts of the Devonian belt already 100% owned. We're undertaking the first modern systematic exploration across this world-class belt. Activities in 2018 have recommenced this week, funded from existing cash from last year's capital raising that gave us a 12-month budget, and we're focusing on proving our concept at West Kazulu, securing tenure from a mining licence, looking at the higher grade potential there. And I guess the best analogue is Xanadu Mines' Karmatai project, which is a similar style deposit and underpins a market cap of over 100 million. Then, as mentioned, we're focusing on our East 7 Savaga target, trying to confirm our concept there that it's an analogue to 7 Savaga, which is a $1 billion construction project. And at the same time, we've got an active foothold on the belt, and there's a number of other opportunities that at this point in the cycle, we're well positioned to try and increase our portfolio, and having active conversations with a number of industry groups that post-OT, recommencing stage 2 operations of revisiting Mongolia. So I guess that's Kincora in a nutshell. One question that I do also get asked a lot at this conference is what's going on in Mongolia. Without dwelling too much on this, and happy to discuss this individually afterwards, I guess you've seen Oyu Tolgoi Stage 1 recommence. It's the largest project financing and largest expansion project in the industry that underpinned the IMF-led bailout, and those two factors there have supported a number of investors revisiting Mongolia, and a number of the juniors listed there have raised meaningful exploration capital to advance their targets and projects, again showing the untapped exploration potential of this region. So with that, happy to answer any questions. Thank you, Lee.